Welcome to the definitive guide to scaling on Facebook. Let's get into scaling. Now, just because you hit your ROAS target doesn't mean you should spend an extra penny anywhere because you have no fucking clue where to spend it. Here's what's really important. Start to measure your blended CPA. How much can you acquire a sale? Because you know that every sale either starts a lifetime value journey or continues it. So what is the allowable price that you're willing to spend to get somebody either started or continuing on their journey towards a lifetime value? And that number isn't just on Facebook, because remember, we can't always see all the data, and attribution is bullshit. Because maybe you see 14 Facebook ads and then you go to Google and type something in, you go to the website, and a week later an email converts you. Well, email drives all the sales. You can scrap everything else, except the well will run dry very quickly. You know that, but if your MER is a 3 because your email campaign did great, you're kind of shit out of luck with any actionable data. So what we're getting to is a blended CPA. Now, how we get this? Number one thing I like to use, EcosystemROASDoc. I'm not here to pitch you on that stuff, just saying you need to understand when I'm having good performance in my store, what percentage of my spend and what percentage of my sales seem to be coming from this specific channel. And when I'm there, what's the CPA on that channel for that offer, right? So now we're saying, well, over the last week, my average blended CPA, including search, email, Facebook, and TikTok, is at 25. Now, in those days where it was below a 25, my Facebook CPA also happened to be below a 50. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I need to get a sale below a 35 or I'm going to lose money. So you're afraid to spend more money on Facebook because your Facebook CPA is around like a 46, 48. But your blended is $10 less than your acquisition cost allowable to get a sale. So at this point, what you've defined is that a less than $50 CPA on Facebook more or less equates to a mid $20 CPA blended across your entire store because of the lift, incremental lift, that comes from search and organic and TikTok and email and everything else. So this is where we get into the big trick. Scale into margin. If you have a $26 CPA blended and say Facebook is 50% of your spend and your Facebook is coming in at say a $45 CPA, what this means is if your target is at $35, you are coming in at 20 to 30% under your target. Now, what this really means is because Facebook is roughly say 50% of your spend, you could probably nearly double your Facebook budget. But to start off with here, let's say your blended is coming in at a 25, your goal is at 35, and your Facebook says it's coming in at a 45. You can spend more to get a lower efficiency on your blended because the extra spend might not bring you in a linear path. You might not just maintain that efficiency as you come in, and we're gonna get to that here in a minute too. But the most important thing is there's a difference between what I'm willing to pay and what I'm actually paying. Now that difference, let's say it's 35%. Well, that means you can increase your spend on Facebook by 35%. And if you get 0 extra sales, which isn't gonna happen by any means, you're still okay. Now, maybe you don't get any extra sales from Facebook, but you're getting a ton more site traffic. Your search volume is going to go up. Your email open rate improves. Your click-through rate on those emails improves. The number of email addresses that you're even sending emails out to improves. Oddly enough, also your organic reach on TikTok goes up. Why is that? Maybe because you're creating intent on the world's greatest intent creation device. And even though you're running a conversion campaign, you are generating awareness and buying intent, pushing people further down the journey because Facebook is not only great at letting people know you exist, but it's also excellent at priming and conditioning people to ultimately take the action that you are optimizing for, even if Facebook isn't the reason that they do it on the last click. Because remember, attribution is bullshit. The point here is maybe you get 5 more sales. Well, great, you can go more. Maybe you get 5% more sales or 10%. Maybe you increase your budget and your blended goes up a little bit. Maybe it goes up to 30. Well, you're still acquiring sales for $5 less than break even or your target, which means you can continue to spend. The most important thing here is we do not increase spend because we're at our goal. What we need to do is establish a margin. Now, maybe your goal is a $35 CPA and you're coming in at a $35. That means you can't increase spend. What that means is you need to increase efficiency. You need to get people for cheaper. If you can establish a margin, say we get it from 35 week over week down to 32 or 31.5, right? So what if we establish a 10% margin, right? Where our goal is 35, but we're getting people for 31.50. So we've got a 10% margin between our acquisition costs and we're actually getting people for it. That means we can increase spend by 10%. And even if we don't get any more sales, which again is bullshit, we're gonna get way more traffic. We're gonna get way more direct. We're gonna have better open rates. We're gonna have more exposure on other organic channels. We're gonna get more search volume. We're gonna get more email addresses to send people out to. We are pouring fuel on the fire, raising everything, because Facebook is an intent creation device and market research tool that pushes people further down the path because it knows how to prime and condition them to take an action, because you've told it exactly what you wanted for probably a decade or more with every action you've taken on almost every website you've ever done. Plus they have all your credit card data and they've known what every action you've taken on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, your DMs, your Messenger, all of it. So the point here is scale into the margin. Don't say I've hit my objective and now I want to spend more. Your objective should be to be more efficient than you need to be so that you can add waste and then hopefully not lose 100% of that investment. This is what we call a total loss investment. And if that total loss is actually not a complete loss and you generate more revenue because of it, you can start to actually drive and measure incremental lift from running your channel the way it was designed to be used. This is how Facebook works, which again is why we use broad audiences, why retargeting is a luxury problem, and why attribution is bullshit. YouTube says you might like some of these things. Go ahead and give me a sub. I think it's over this way. Anyway, I hope you all have a lot of fun. I know this was helpful. I had a great time. I'll see you on the internet.